Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. John Owen talks about sports and movies. Thank you for checking out today's video. I always appreciate the support. Let's get into it. Just today, out of nowhere, really, it was announced that Bradley Beal is being traded to the Phoenix Suns. And now today's question will pose: are they Western Conference favorites? What is kind of the ceiling and potential of this team? So I'm just giving my full reaction to the Bradley Beal trade. But make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe so you never miss out on any of the fun. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Tell me what you think about the trade. Do you think this will work out for the Suns? And all that good stuff. But with all that out of the way, let's get into actually breaking this down. So let's talk about what the Suns gave up first. So they gave up Chris Paul, Landry Shamet, a few second round picks, and then some pick swaps. Honestly, I don't think that's too much to give up for Bradley Beal. I honestly think that's probably a pretty good package to give up. Especially just no like straight up first round picks. I think if you don't lose any first round picks, you get rid of Chris Paul, who has had success there. Obviously they made it all the way to the finals, but it's consistently hurt during the playoffs. And, honestly, I think this just comes down to the fact that we saw in the playoffs this year that with Chris Paul being out, if KD and Book weren't just playing lights out and weren't making every single shot for the Suns, they had no one else on the roster to score because that hole was left there by Chris Paul. And he's been hurt and he's got a massive playoff injury history. So I think they just want someone, that they know is going to be there and then they know can score. Bradley Beal has no injury history. We know he's a very solid scorer. He's going to give you 23 a game. And I think, honestly, that's pretty good. I think that's exactly what the Suns need. And I think they're trying to maximize this window that they have with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker because, if you gave up all of that for Kevin Durant, you got to go all in on. I mean, we're talking one of the top five best players ever, or not ever, sorry, top five players in the league. We're talking about a top 15 guy ever, and you have him on your team, and he's happy there. And you can really you have a chance to really do something and get your first chip. And Devin Booker has proven time and time again that he's a good playoff performer. And so, when you got the two of them, you got to put all your chips on the table. Now, granted, especially with DeAndre Ayton there as well, they're committing a lot of salary to just the four of those guys. So I think they're going to have to be really smart about getting guys on minimum contracts. They're definitely going to have to get some perimeter and wing defense, just more defense, some playmaking, because right now I'm not seeing a lot of that, which is fine. Free agency hasn't even started, so there's a lot of time for them to fill out this roster, kind of with the guys that they need. If you can get these guys, if you can get good veteran players come in on a cheap contract, because hey, you can come in, contribute, and we can win a ring. If we get the right guys surrounding this big three, I think that would be very appealing for a vet. Truly, I really do think that would be super appealing. It would be appealing to me. I think it's logical. We've seen that work before. But they're just going to be really, really smart about how they navigate it. I think that as far as where does that put them in the West hierarchy, I think that they would have to. I think a lot of people are going to put them as the favorite to win the West. As currently constructed, I don't see them being better than Denver, just because they have very little defense on this current roster right now. No like super great defenders. Like not that I don't even think that Book and Bradley Beal are like negative defenders. They're like above average, and KD is actually like a pretty good defender. But no like true stoppers or anything like that. Or at least not enough of those type of guys. So, I think literally if they just got like a bunch of 3D guys and like two like playmaking point guards just to come off the bench, I honestly think that they could have a really, really, really complete roster. Now, it's not easy to just go find those guys. But I think they're capable of doing it. And even then, I think I would have to see them like play against the Nuggets stuff like that because the Nuggets are just so gifted offensively, truly, truly, and then just an underrated defensive team. Um, but the Nuggets are purely unstoppable on offense, truly. And so I would put them. I wouldn't put them above Denver. I think I would put them either right out or just below Denver as far as favorites in the West. There was a lot of rumble. What I think is really interesting about this is that there was, Bradley Beal was linked to Milwaukee and Miami, and I thought if one of them got Bradley Beal, they would become the favorite in the East. But now you've kind of taken away a key potential piece from an Eastern Conference team. So if you get to the finals, you're facing a potentially, like kind of weaker version of that team of how that team could have hypothetically been constructed because you got Bradley Beal and Miami or Milwaukee didn't, which I think is a really good grab on their part. I think this move is just about all in getting a chip. And honestly, regardless of how this works out, I gotta respect it. I think if you go all in and get the chip, it doesn't matter what you have to sacrifice. Like the Rams going all in, trading 2 first-round picks for Stafford, worth it. You won the Super Bowl. The Lakers trading their young core for AD, worth it. You got a championship out of it. Now we've seen that not work out, with like the Brooklyn Super Teams, and stuff like that. But when you go all in and you get that chip, it'll be worth it. No doubt about it. And I could see where this cashes out for the Suns. Truly. I really do see a world in where the Phoenix Suns are champions next year. Now, they're gonna have to really, really, really work hard on their chemistry. Like really, truly put in a lot of time and a lot of effort to get their chemistry down. Because I think they were a little arrogant last year when they threw together KD and they're like, oh yeah, like we'll be fine. It don't work like that. Like you can't be like, oh well, we're 8-0 when games where KD, Chris Paul, and Devin Booker all play together, and think that's going to carry you enough in the playoff run. But I think they've got a long offseason to go. They've got a lot of time where they can work on that. And so I really do think this could pay off. And I don't even think they gave up that much to the point where this doesn't work out to where it's going to be really, really bad for them. Um, we know that Book and KD can play along with one another. They just needed a third guy. And I think Bradley Beal's that. So until I see kind of how they fill out the rest of their roster, I would put them as second favorites in the West, potentially co-favorites with Denver. But I think they're really talented and they've got a lot of potential, and I can totally see them winning a championship with this group. So thank you for checking out today's video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Like I said earlier, check out all the link content above. I appreciate you guys tuning in for all these videos and interacting. It really means a lot to me. And I just hope that every single one of you has a great day. Thank you.